Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, 5-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLC. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Canisha Turner. A little bit about her. Canisha Turner is a true definition of extraordinary. This firecracker has been on stage since the age of 2 and enjoys motivational speaking in all things media and entertainment. She is a 14-year pageant veteran, having competed in natural, semi-glitz, and scholarship pageants. At the age of 18, Turner found Shining Stars Illuminating the World Baton Troupe, a mentorship for young girls ages 9 through 13 that teaches life skills while incorporating the skill of baton twirling. At the age of 25, she became the owner and CEO of Executive Reign, a public speaking, pageantry, and leadership development company based in North Carolina, but serves southeastern United States. Since its establishment, Canisha has coached numerous SGA presidents, Mr. and Mrs. A&Ts, Miss North Carolina Central University, and several local and state title holders. She gives motivational speeches all over the country and conducts etiquette and leadership development seminars for corporate and social organizations. In 2011, Canisha's work was nationally recognized by superstar Janet Jackson for the 2011 Janet Jackson 20 Under 20 Extraordinary Youth Award in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Canisha was honored personally by the celebrity and her staff. She is no stranger to service, so she has traveled to Ghana, West Africa to donate books and speak to village schools and Cape Coast. She did all of this while serving as a 2013-2014 Student Government Association president, which placed her at the center of the student body as a direct liaison between the administration, students, and the University of North Carolina system. Canisha has spoken to audiences all over the United States of America as a motivational speaker. Her speeches are inspirational, thus encouraging audiences to think, who am I not to be? She brilliantly crafts motivational speeches intertwined with modern and historical real-world examples to match whatever the theme of the event. From the youngest audience member all the way to the oldest, she leaves each audience member inspired and charged to conquer the world. She has spoken alongside greats such as Jeff Johnson, the Honorable Andrew Young, Malik Yoba, Tatiana M. Ali, Jesse Jackson, and several others. She has also published several articles, including We Speak Your Names, which pays homage to the women of the Civil Rights Movement. She has also been nationally recognized as Wednesday's Woman of the Week by the SBB Institute for the Development of Women Leaders. Canisha serves on several boards, including the North Carolina A&T State University's Alumni Convention Board, Queen and You Board of Directors, and several other community organizations. She was also named one of the top 10 women entrepreneurs to watch in 2018 by social blogger Marcia Lindsay. She holds a bachelor's degree from North Carolina A&T State University and a master's degree from Wake Forest University. Welcome to the table.
Hello.
Canisha Turner.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Ashley, for the opportunity.
You are welcome. I'm excited to have you at the table tonight, Canisha. I know you're going to share some amazing wisdom and knowledge with my listeners. So please tell us more about your entrepreneur journey.
Absolutely. So I love how you started the show when you gave a little synopsis about yourself. And I believe you said you were corporate by day and entrepreneur by night. And if I have those words correctly, that's definitely a perfect description of me. So I'm corporate America by day, and then I'm Executive Reign, which is my business, at 5 p.m. and beyond. And so one of the things I love about ER, which is how I abbreviate it, is Executive Reign, and just to give you a little background about the name before I go any further, because a lot of people often ask me, how did you come up with Executive Reign? Well, when I was at NCA&T, I was the SGA president, but before winning the seat of SGA president, I wasn't sure which direction I want to go. I had half of the campus in one ear saying you should run for Miss A&T, And then I had the other half of the campus in the other ear saying, no, you can be SGA president. And so I thought about that, and I said, well, you know what? Essentially, I'm both. I am regal and I'm royal because I've been competing in pageants since I was 2 years old, so I'm no stranger to the stage and the elegance and the poise. But then at the same time, I'm a mouthpiece and I'm a voice for the voiceless, and I like to impact change. And I love my university so much, and I know there was a mile and a mile for our students to go. We've accomplished so much in NCA&T, and I wanted to put my staple on that and continue to push the student body forward. And so I said, you know what? I can bring that regal and that elegance to the seat of SGA president. It's a seat that has not been dominated by women as much as it has men. And so I wanted to be a female in that male-dominated role. And so I was an executive in that role, but I also brought the regal and the elegance. And so that's why I decided to name my company Executive Reign, because of my executive presence and then my royal presence, which is Reign, R-E-I-G-N. And so Executive Reign is something that grew pretty much. I tell people I've been doing it since I could talk. Honestly, I've always been training people, but especially throughout college and after I got my master's degree, it was something that I wanted to take full time, and it's my air. And so aside from climbing the corporate ladder, I wanted my outlet, and my outlet is definitely training little girls and guys in the pageant world, and then also etiquette workshops and public speaking training and leadership development. And so thus Executive Reign was born.
I love that. I love everything about it. Definitely love executive reign. We're going to get more, into that more throughout the show. But Canisha, you're doing some amazing things. So, and definitely, managing corporate America and entrepreneurship. I definitely know how that is. So it is a juggle.
Absolutely.
You are doing some amazing things.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
So you enjoy motivational speaking in all things media and entertainment. So tell us more about your passion.
Wow. Okay. So when you talk about inspiring people, it was something that I discovered when I was a little girl. When I would get behind the microphone, and then after I finished saying what I was saying, people would clap and people would applaud. And then afterwards, people would come up to me and say, you know what, when you said XYZ, that touched me, that inspired me. And so I latched on to that. I got my early start when I was in church, honestly, before I got on stage competing in pageants. During the Easter and Christmas, I'm not sure if your church, I was raised in a small Baptist church, but we always had Easter cards and Christmas cards that we had to memorize and perform at the Easter celebration. Yes, ma'am. So that was my favorite part, and it was something about the reception that I would get after I would say my Easter part, after I would say my Christmas part. And so I said, there it is. That's my purpose in life, is to inspire people, is to encourage people, with my words. Because what people don't realize is you can make or break a person by what you say. And especially when it comes down to children, those who are growing and learning who they are and growing into whatever it is that God has created them to be. And so I found that my voice, my motivation and my encouragement was my purpose. And so I love speaking. I speak to middle school. I speak to high schools. I speak to corporate, whatever, at churches, whatever opportunity and whenever the opportunity arises to speak and inspire someone, I jump at it every time.
I love it. So let's talk more about, Executive Reign. Tell us more about your amazing company and how we can support and get involved.
Absolutely. So it's three-pronged. It is pageantry, which is the largest piece of it. So I coach. I used to say I started 2 years old, but actually my youngest student is 10 months. And so as soon as they're born and the parents are willing to put them on stage, the opportunity is there. So I train from babies all the way up. So I say from 0 to 1,000. And so, yes, ma'am. So I am training primarily girls who are interested in the pageant world. Now, I primarily train for semi-glitz and scholarship pageants and also campus pageants. You heard about the Mr. and Miss A&T and Miss North Carolina Central that I've trained. trained. And I also heard you mention in my bio that I train local and state. Well, I've got national and international winners. So I train on all levels. I've got winners that have superseded, the state pageants, and they have won national and international titles. And so that's my opportunity to work with these girls in interviewing and on-stage question and on-stage modeling in the form of casual wear, beauty, fitness, whatever the categories call for in these pageants, and train them to the crown. And so that's the largest piece. And then the second piece is public speaking and motivational speaking. So that's me when I'm going around and I'm speaking at different events and conferences and things of that nature. And then leadership development. So that's the prong that affects the college campuses. So I've spoken at Wake Forest to their business department, and I've spoken at North Carolina Central, and of course my home school of North Carolina A&T, and several high schools in the area. So it is a company that encompasses all of my love. And it reaches and impacts the youngest all the way to the oldest person that I encounter.
Well, I'm just going to say for all our listeners that are listening, Canisha is doing an amazing job. Actually, 2 of her babies I did a show on Sunday. Bailey has a show with us now. And
yes,
then Bailey reviewed another one of your pageant ladies, Skylar. So she's doing some great things with these youth and giving back to our young girls, and they are just amazing. So thank you, Canisha, for all the great things that you are doing, and they did amazing on Sunday.
Yes, they did. I listened into them on Sunday, and I was very, very proud, Ashley. And as I told you before this recording, thank you for creating the space. That's very, very important. We have a lot of talent, especially in our youth, and sometimes they just need someone to give them the chance. So thank you for giving Bailey the opportunity to have her own podcast and interviewing Skylar, who's doing some amazing things. So there's some amazing little girls, and I'm blessed to work with them, and I'm blessed that you created a space for her.
You are welcome. You are welcome. That's what it's all about, reaching back and pulling forward. Just thank you for, giving them that confidence. And they did not sound their age at all. Okay? It was just so amazing.
No, they did not. They are amazing. Those girls, they light up my world. And I think going back to Executive Reign, I get out more, I believe, than I put in. And my parents always say, my goodness, you give, and that is true. But the blessing that I get from training these girls and working with these girls, Ashley, it's amazing. I mean, their talents are out of this world. Their intellect out of this world. A lot of the things that they're doing, I've got kids that are signed with agencies and walking in New York Fashion Week and doing commercials and, catalog campaigns. It's a wealth of experience and opportunities that these little girls are doing, and I'm just blessed to be a part of their journey.
I love it, and it's just so amazing. So make sure you follow Executive Reign. Can you tell listeners how to follow your page and all your group and everything, Canisha, so they can get involved with Executive Reign?
Absolutely. So they can find me in several ways. The most active is, of course, Facebook. I try my best to update that daily. So you can follow us on Facebook at Executive Reign. And Reign, of course, is spelled REIGN. And also on Instagram. So it's Executive Reign _CCT for my initials. And then also my website, executivereign.com. So everything is consistent. All the branding is consistent. Even if you forget the handles and you need to find it on Google, just Google Executive Reign and it'll come up.
So definitely follow her amazing company and get involved. And when I say she's doing something, these babies are amazing. Get involved and see all the great things that they are doing. Now, Canisha, let's talk more about you have spoken to audiences all over the United States of America as a motivational speaker, alongside some of the greats, such as I stated before, Jeff Johnson, the Honorable Andrew Young, Jesse Jackson, and many more. So can you tell our listeners how you accomplish these amazing goals? So these are some amazing goals.
Well, thank you. To God be the glory, first and foremost.
Yeah.
It's all about networking. I tell my babies this all the time, and the students that I mentor. It's not what you know, and sometimes it's not even who you know, but who knows you. And when you avail yourself and you put yourself in these positions to speak, anytime when I was on campus, it could be a small organization on campus, and they would say, hey, I need an MC. And if I was available, I took it. all the way to, Convocation, where, of course, the big audience in Harrison Auditorium. I would take that opportunity. So from taking those opportunities and speaking wherever I availed myself, that's how I met someone who said, okay, well, I need you to speak on this panel. And then I would speak on that panel. And then from there, I'd see someone, they say, oh, I remember when you spoke at this particular program. Would you mind coming to speak here? And that here happened to be an event with Jesse Jackson or Omarosa or the Honorable Andrew Young. And so just making myself available and not considering anything too small. That's how those opportunities came. Whenever someone asked me to do something, if I was available, I did it. And from there, I was able to network and get to some of those bigger events with some of those big names.
Amazing. And that's why listeners that are listening, you just never know what doors are going to open from those
Absolutely.
different opportunities. So do not pass up opportunities. Show up. It's all about showing up. And I'm sure you did some free ones, right? And it opened other doors.
Absolutely. A lot of pro bono. I tell people all the time. As you're climbing, those first initial gigs that I took, those first speaking engagements were non-paid, but they were resume builders, and again, networking. So I may not have gotten physical cash from it, but I got a business card, or I got an email address. And sometimes that's worth more than money because I'm able to shoot a resume or shoot a bio to that email or send a thank you note. And they say, you know what, it's something about this young lady. Let me connect her with somebody else. And so that's how you climb. And that's, you ask some of the biggest name celebrities or, some of the biggest people in entertainment today, they'll tell you it's because I was able to network and I was able to get at the table with some of these people. And nothing was ever too small.
You're right, because relationships are more than money. And I'm glad you spoke about networking. So let's talk about that. So why is networking up so important?
Why is networking so important?
Yeah, networking up. Why is it important to network up?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, yes. So it's very important to network up because, again, you never know. A lot of people think, I'll use Tyler Perry as an example. There are a lot of people who say, I want to work for Tyler Perry, and that could very well be possible, and that's awesome. But it may take you 100 people in between where you are today and reaching Tyler Perry in a year. But it's those people in between that are going to get you to that end goal of Tyler Perry. So, networking with his camp, networking with maybe even his intern, someone who has worked in his vicinity, asking questions, getting the business card, trying to understand, okay, after I reach this person, now I'm going to reach his secretary. And after I talk to his secretary and slide my resume or my bio to his secretary, now she's going to pass it on to his manager and so on and so forth. So it's very important to network as you're going up because those networks are what you are able to rely on to get you to your end goal.
Absolutely. That is so, so important. So I hope our listeners are taking notes because Canisha is giving out some amazing nuggets tonight. So, Canisha, what are some strategies you would give to listeners who would like to own their own business in the pageant industry? So, for those listeners that want to, grow in the pageant industry and own their own businesses, what are some advice? So, what are some strategies you would give them?
Okay. First and foremost, be relentless. Keep going. As with anything, there are going to be obstacles as you are trying to accomplish something or trying to, in this case, establish something. One of the things about the pageant world, I'm a minority in the pageant world. And so when I started competing, I was a minority competitor. And then when I started actually coaching, I am a minority coach. So we are few and far in between. And so that presents its own challenges by itself, And so, but you can't let those challenges cause you to stop. Embrace those challenges, which is what I do. Embrace a lot of people having to see your worth first, you have to prove some things first, prove why you are valuable, why you have a winning strategy, why you have a winning method. And then after you're able to show those receipts, as we say, then, stand on that. Be confident in who you are. Be confident in your value add. what can you bring to the table? What separates you? You know, what's your unique selling proposition? What stands you out? Be confident in it. Find it out first, and then be confident in it and stand on it, and understand that you have a place. A lot of people think that, you know, well, there are tons and tons of other pageant coaches out there, and I'm just using that for an example, but there may be someone who is trying to get into another industry, and they may have that same thought. There are tons and tons of people who are already doing it. Well, they're not you. That's your differentiator. You're you. That's why you have to know what your value add is and stand on that. You know, it doesn't matter how many other people are already doing it. Understand what separates you from the rest of those people and see how far you climb.
I love that. What separates you, right? It doesn't
Absolutely.
matter how many people are doing it. You're unique. Stand out. Be
Absolutely.
different.
Absolutely.
So what are some strategies you would give to listeners who are building their speaking career?
The more you do it, the better you will become. That's what I tell my babies. You'll notice I call my clients my babies. I tell them all the time, even as we're practicing for some of the big pageants, the more you do it, the better you will become. So it's the same thing with speaking. The more you are behind the microphone, the better you will become. The more opportunities you take, the better you will become. You know, the more people that you're able to speak to, the different variety of things that you can do, because people don't understand that, you know, speaking comes in many forms. You can moderate a panel, you know, you can go and give a private workshop, or you can speak in front of an auditorium giving an actual oration. Make sure you're diversifying. Make sure you're taking those different opportunities as skills and putting them in your tool belt. So as you're building your resume, you're building your bio, you know, take the opportunities. It doesn't matter how big or small. You'll notice that commonality in my interview tonight. I'm always saying it doesn't matter how big or small, because I guarantee you those small things lead to big things. If you only need the right person, one right person to hear you. And once they hear you, that'll catapult your career even higher.
Yeah, it doesn't take but one person to change your life. I definitely agree.
Absolutely.
With that. It's so, so important. So I ask all of my guests this question. You know, because you continually build your own multiple tables for yourself. So how did you create your seat at the table?
No one can do it better than CCT. That's just what it is. And once I understood that, and once I stood firmly in that, I was not only able to create my seat at the table, but build my own table. And that's one of the things that we have to understand, especially minorities. A lot of times we're trying to conform. You know, we're trying to make people see our worth. No, we have to understand that our worth and our value is already there. So when it comes down to how I created my seat at the table, I knew who I was. I know who I am. I know my value add. And so when those opportunities come along and, you know, I'm able to train or coach some of the best and the brightest, it's because it's me. It's CCT. It's the person that God created me to be. So creating my seat at the table, it didn't come easy. I'll say that. You know, there was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of early mornings, you know, a lot of long nights. There were some times where I really, really had to dig deep into my brand. I had to study to show myself approved. That's what people have to understand too. You know, it doesn't come overnight. You've got to study at this. You've got to work at that craft. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have to make sure you put in the work. No one should be working harder at what you do than you. And that's how you can have the confidence and say, nobody can do this better than me, because I've studied to show myself approved. So creating your seat at the table, or eventually creating your own table, means studying and making sure that you truly have a handle on what you do and who you are.
Absolutely. I love it. Love how you shine light on that, because that's so important. You build your own tables and you make room for others while you're there.
Absolutely.
So, what did failure teach you on your journey? Because we all have a process. So what did failure teach you?
Oh, my goodness. You know what? The greatest gift that God could have ever given us is failure, honestly, learning from our mistakes. And failure has taught me how to be humble, number one, very important as you're going up. And then at the same time, how to use every opportunity as a stepping stone. So I tell my kids all the time, either you win or you learn. You never lose. It's never a loss. Either you won at that thing or you gain some tools that's going to help you be better at the next thing that comes your way. And so failure has taught me that, it has taught me that it's okay. And I think a lot of people who, are striving for things, a lot of times we strive for perfection. We want to do it right all the time. And that's not all the time the case. We're going to have things that come our way that we're not going to be the best at, that's going to trip us up a bit, but I promise you those are the times where character is built the best. And so I appreciate every opportunity that I may not have excelled at as best as I wanted to, but I guarantee you it was probably the best thing that happened in my life because it caused me to understand, okay, this piece right here, what did you learn from it? And once I assessed what I learned from it, the next time something similar came my way, I was able to accomplish it every time.
I love that. I love how, because it's just a lesson, right? It's just a lesson.
Absolutely.
And that's what we have to remember. It builds character. So, embrace that. So you're very successful, Canisha. So what did success teach you?
How to lift as I climb. That's one of the main things, and honestly, maybe I can't attribute that to success. I've got to attribute that first and foremost to God and to my parents, because they've always taught me to reach back. I was given an opportunity. Somebody gave me that chance. Somebody said, okay, I want to see you win. I want to see you successful. And so because of them, I am. And so through success, through being given the opportunities that I've gotten, I'm able to bless somebody else. I'm able to pull people up along the way. And to me, that is the biggest win ever, Ashley. When I'm able to open a door for someone, because so many people open doors for me, when I'm able to provide opportunities that otherwise may not have been an option because of something or a network that I was able to create. To me, that's the biggest blessing ever. And I look at my kids and so many people that I mentor. I always say I operate in the method of, okay, what would I have wanted when I was in their shoes? When I was 6 years old, what would I have wanted in a mentor? What would I have wanted in someone who was showing me the way? When it came down to pageantry, when my mom and we were in the dressing room and we were trying to figure it out, that's how Executive Reign was created. What would I have wanted in a coach? What would I have wanted a coach to tell me or to prepare me so that I could have been successful much sooner? So those are always things that I'm thinking about, even as I am climbing and when I'm successful and when I reach a goal, I'm like, okay, now who can I pull up along the way? So it's taught me to be humble, but at the same time, it's taught me to go back and bless those, not only who bless me, but those who otherwise may not have had the opportunity.
Absolutely. And that's so, so, so important. And that you're as you're doing it, you're staying humble and you're creating room for others. So thank you for just all the great things, as I said, Canisha, that you are doing. We are in a new year, a new decade, 2020.
Yes,
so
ma'am. Thank you, Lord.
Canisha Turner in 2020.
Well, I don't announce moves until after they're made, so I'm not going to be specific, but I will say that there are a lot of things that are cooking up behind the scenes that I'm excited about. There's some collaborations coming out. It's also some bigger and better things for Executive Reign that are coming through the pipeline. It's some bigger speaking engagements that are coming through the pipeline. So I'm excited about all that's to come. Like I said, I won't get specific because I'm not going to announce until it's done. But God is definitely showing favor, and it's only month 2, and I'm seeing things align. And so I will say everything that I have prayed and fasted for, He is starting to make come to fruition. So I am excited about it, and I'm just praying for the stamina to be able to withstand all that He has coming my way.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And super congratulations, Canisha, on everything that you're about to birth in this new year, in this new decade. And I agree with you. I don't announce moves until they're made as well, but I love that. Love it about you, and I can't wait, like I say, to see the miracles that he's about to birth in your life.
Thank you so much. I'm excited.
You are welcome. So please tell our listeners, Canisha, how they can follow you and support you on all social media platforms.
Absolutely. Please follow the Executive Reign page on Facebook, also on Instagram, executivereign_CCT. And please follow me personally as well on Facebook. It's my name, Canisha Sierra Turner. And I would love to stay connected with all of you all. If you have any additional questions after this interview that maybe you would have liked me to have gone more deeper into detail about, please send me a message, and I'd love to connect with you.
Amazing. So definitely follow and support her. Canisha Turner is definitely somebody to know, somebody that you could connect with and collaborate with. So definitely reach out to her and connect with her. Canisha, I would like to thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come to the table tonight. It has been an amazing interview, and I can't wait to invite you back to the table.
Thank you, and thank you for all that you're doing, Ashley. You are lighting up the game. I enjoy following you, so thank you again for the opportunity, and blessings for all that's happening in your life.
Thank you so much, love, and I look forward to working with you and continuing to collaborate with you throughout the year.
Yes, ma'am. You all have a great night.
You too. So I would like to give a special thanks to my intern, Sarah, from Tennessee State University, and my intern, Vontaria, from Winston-Salem State University. You always follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.